Story 1. I've been cleaning houses for about 12 years now. Started doing it part-time when my youngest was in elementary school, and it eventually became my full-time gig. I've seen all kinds of clients over the years. Some are messy but nice. Some are neat freaks who follow you around with a checklist. But I'd never encountered anyone quite like the woman I'm about to tell you about. Let me give you some context first. About 3 months ago, I picked up a new client through the cleaning service I work for. The house was in one of those upscale neighborhoods where every lawn looks like it belongs in a magazine. The woman who hired me seemed normal enough at first. A bit particular, sure, but nothing I couldn't handle. She wanted her bedroom done a specific way. The curtains had to be opened at exactly 10 in the morning. The pillows needed to be fluffed counterclockwise. Her essential oil diffuser had to be refilled with lavender oil every single visit. I followed all her rules to the letter. I'm a professional. I show up on time, I do my job well, and I don't touch anything I'm not supposed to touch. That's how I've kept my reputation spotless for over a decade. Everything was fine for the first 6 weeks. She'd leave me a list of tasks, I'd complete them, and she'd text me a simple thank you. Then things started getting weird. One day, she was home when I arrived. That was unusual because she normally left before I got there. She watched me work for a bit, which made me uncomfortable, but I kept going. When I finished vacuuming her bedroom, she walked in and just stood there in the doorway, staring at the space. Karen, something's different in here. Me, I cleaned everything on your list. Did I miss something? Karen, no, it's not that. The room feels lighter. Me, well, I did open the curtains like you asked. Let more sunlight in. Karen, not that kind of light. The energy, the spiritual weight, it's gone. I didn't really know what to say to that, so I just nodded and moved on to cleaning the bathroom. But she kept bringing it up every time I came to clean after that. She'd walk into her bedroom and make these comments about how the energy felt off, or too airy, or ungrounded. I started to dread going to that house. Then came the day everything exploded. I arrived for my usual Thursday morning appointment. She was waiting for me at the door with her arms crossed. Her face was red, and I could tell she'd been working herself up about something. Karen, we need to talk. Me, okay? Is there a problem with my cleaning? Karen, you've been stealing from me. My heart dropped. In 12 years, I'd never been accused of stealing anything. I take pride in my honesty. I've cleaned homes with jewelry lying out, cash on dressers, expensive electronics everywhere. I've never touched a single thing that wasn't mine. Me, I haven't stolen anything. I would never do that. Karen, you're lying. Every time you clean my bedroom, something disappears. Me, what's missing? I can help you look for it. Karen, my positive energy. You're stealing my positive energy from my bedroom. That's why it feels so light and empty in there now. I thought she was joking at first. I actually let out a nervous laugh because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Me, I don't understand what you mean. Karen, ever since you started cleaning, my bedroom has felt different. The spiritual weight is gone. I used to feel grounded and centered in there. And now it's like all the good vibes have been sucked out. You're doing something to steal my energy. Me, I'm just cleaning. I vacuum, dust, change the sheets. That's all. Karen, well, you're doing something wrong. I want you to put it back. Me, I can't put back something I didn't take. She got even angrier at that. She started ranting about how she'd had a friend who's a spiritual consultant come over, and this friend confirmed that the energy in her bedroom had been harvested by someone. I tried to stay calm and professional, but inside I was panicking. I needed this job. The cleaning service paid me well for this particular house because it was a big property. Karen, I'm going to check the security cameras. I bet they caught you doing some kind of ritual or taking something. Me, please do. I haven't done anything wrong. She stormed off to check her camera footage. I stood in the foyer for almost 30 minutes while she reviewed the recordings. When she came back, she looked even more upset. Karen, the cameras don't show anything. Me, because I didn't do anything. Karen, that's exactly the point. You're so good at stealing vibes that you don't even leave evidence. That's how I know you're guilty. You're like an energy vampire. You're too skilled at this. I couldn't take it anymore. The accusation was ridiculous, but more than that, it was insulting. I'd worked hard to build my reputation, and here was this woman accusing me of stealing something that didn't even make sense. Me, I'm sorry, but I can't continue working for you. I'll let the cleaning service know I'm stepping down from this account. Karen, you can't quit. I'm firing you. Me, fine. Either way, I'm done. I walked out of that house and called the cleaning service from my car. I explained everything that happened. My supervisor was shocked but supportive. She told me she'd find me a replacement assignment by the next day. Here's where it gets good. The cleaning service had to find someone else to take over that house. But word travels fast among cleaners, especially in our area. We all talk to each other, share stories about difficult clients, warn each other about red flags. By the time the service found someone willing to take the job, that person had heard all about the stolen energy incident. The new cleaner agreed to take the assignment, but with conditions. She told the service she'd need to charge double her normal rate, because this client was clearly going to be high maintenance. The service calls it a difficult client fee, but all of us cleaners know what it really is. It's a Karen tax. My old supervisor called me a week later to fill me in. Apparently, the woman had a complete meltdown when she found out the new cleaner's rate. She demanded they assign someone else at the regular price. The service told her that was the only cleaner willing to work with her, and it was take it or leave it. She took it. She's now paying twice as much to get her house cleaned, and according to my supervisor, the new cleaner doesn't put up with any of her nonsense. No special pillow fluffing rituals, no counterclockwise movements, no listening to complaints about spiritual energy. As for me, I got assigned to 3 new clients who are all perfectly normal people who just want their homes cleaned. I make the same amount of money, but now I don't have to deal with accusations of energy theft. Sometimes the universe has a funny way of balancing things out. Story 2. I've been driving trucks for about 12 years now, and I thought I'd seen everything. Road rage, parking lot arguments, people fighting over the last spot at the grocery store during holiday season. But what happened last Tuesday afternoon made me realize I hadn't seen anything yet. I work as a delivery driver for a regional courier company. The job keeps me on the road about 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. After my wife passed away 3 years ago, I actually appreciated the distraction. Staying busy helped. The only real luxury I'd given myself since then was installing a decent dashcam in my truck. Not just one facing forward, but a full system with cameras pointing in all directions. You'd be amazed how many people try to blame delivery drivers for accidents that never happened, so I figured it was worth the investment. That day, I just finished my last delivery at a strip mall. It was one of those places with a huge parking lot that's always half empty. I was sitting in my truck, engine running, filling out the final delivery confirmation on my tablet. The spot next to me was empty when I'd parked there 20 minutes earlier. I heard the sound of a car pulling up beside me. Didn't think much of it. People park next to other cars all the time, even in empty lots. I was focused on my screen, trying to get the customer's signature to register properly on the tablet. The thing always acted up. Then I heard it. A car door slamming, followed by footsteps stomping toward my truck. Fast, angry footsteps. Someone started banging on my window so hard I thought they might break it. I looked up to see a woman, probably in her late 40s, with her face pressed close to the glass. Her expression was pure fury. I rolled down my window about halfway, confused. Me, can I help you? Her, you know exactly what you did. Me, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Her, don't play stupid with me. I saw you. I saw you looking at my car. I glanced over at the SUV parked next to me. It was one of those expensive models, white, spotless, except for a small dent on the passenger side door. The dent was facing toward my truck. Me, I've been sitting here doing paperwork. I haven't gotten out of my truck. Her, liar. You were staring at my car. I saw you through your windshield when I pulled up. You were looking right at it. Me, ma'am. I might have glanced over when you parked, but I didn't do anything to your car. Her, you manifested this dent. You were looking at my car with bad energy. I could feel it. You did this with your mind. I sat there for a second, trying to process what she just said. Manifested a dent? With my mind? Me. Are you saying I used telepathy to dent your car? Her. Don't mock me. I know what I felt. You were sending negative energy toward my vehicle. You were probably jealous of it. That's how manifestation works. Bad thoughts create bad reality. Me, ma'am, that dent looks old. There's dirt in the creases. And I've been sitting in my truck the whole time. Her. You're a liar. I'm calling the police. You're going to pay for this damage. She pulled out her phone and actually started dialing. I couldn't believe this was happening. I'd dealt with difficult people before, but this was on another level entirely. Me, before you do that, you should know I have dashcam footage. I can prove I never left my truck. Her, I don't care about your fake footage. I know what happened. Me, it's not fake. I can show you right now. Her, fine. Show me your lies. I pulled up the app on my phone that connected to my dashcam system. I rewound the footage to when I'd first parked. The timestamp showed everything clearly. Me pulling into the spot, the empty space next to me. Me sitting in the truck, looking down at my tablet. 20 minutes passing. Then her SUV pulling up next to me, the dent already visible on her door as she parked. I turned my phone screen toward her. She stared at it for about 10 seconds. Her face went from angry to even angrier, which I didn't think was possible. Her, that's edited. That's propaganda. You edited that video to frame me. Me, ma'am, this is a live feed system. It uploads automatically to the cloud. There's timestamps, GPS coordinates, everything. It can't be edited. Her, you probably work for the government. This is exactly what they do. They edit videos to make honest people look crazy. A small crowd had started gathering. A couple of people had their phones out, recording the whole thing. The woman didn't seem to notice or care. Her, you all see this, right? You see how he's trying to gaslight me? This is assault. Mental assault. One guy in the crowd spoke up. Bystander, lady, the video clearly shows your car already had that dent when you parked. Her, you're probably in on it too. Everyone's against me. She turned back to me, practically shaking with rage. Her, I'm still calling the police. They'll see through your tricks. Me, go ahead. She dialed again, and I could hear her screaming into the phone about hit and run, about video evidence tampering, about conspiracy. The dispatcher must have been very confused. She kept pointing at my truck while yelling into her phone, pacing back and forth. The police showed up about 15 minutes later. 2 officers. I explained the situation calmly and showed them my dashcam footage on my phone. They watched it, looked at her car, looked at my truck. There wasn't a scratch on my truck that lined up with her dent. Plus, my truck was higher than her car. The angles didn't even make sense. Officer 1, ma'am, the video clearly shows the damage was already there. Her, that video is fake. He manifested the dent and then edited the video. Officer 2, how would someone manifest a dent? Her, with negative energy, bad thoughts. It's science. Look it up. The officers looked at each other. I could see them trying not to laugh. Officer 1, ma'am, we can't file a report based on manifestation. There's no evidence of any crime here. Her, so you're just going to let him get away with this? This is corruption. Officer 2, if you continue making false reports, we can cite you for misuse of emergency services. That finally seemed to get through to her. She huffed, got back in her SUV, and peeled out of the parking lot so fast her tires squealed. The officers took my information anyway, just in case she tried to escalate things. They told me to email them a copy of the footage, which I did right there. One of the bystanders who'd been recording came up to me after the cops left. Him. Dude, I posted that video online. It's already getting crazy views. I didn't think much of it at the time. I just wanted to finish my shift and go home. But by the time I got home 2 hours later, my phone was blowing up. Someone had tagged the courier company's social media account. The video had spread everywhere. The title was Karen vs. Physics. It had millions of views. The comments were ruthless. People were making memes about manifesting dents, about sending bad energy to cars, about telepathic vandalism. Someone even made a fake movie poster for it. My boss called me the next morning, laughing so hard he could barely speak. He'd gotten dozens of calls from news stations wanting to interview me. The company's social media was flooded with supportive messages and jokes about their drivers' anti-manifestation training. Boss, you're a viral sensation. Corporate wants to use this for a safety campaign. Show that our drivers have cameras for protection. Me, I just wanted to finish my paperwork. Boss, well, you're getting a bonus for this, and probably a raise. The publicity is insane. The woman apparently deleted all her social media accounts within 48 hours. Someone tracked down her profile before she nuked it and found posts about crystal healing, energy work, and manifesting wealth. The internet had no mercy. I still drive the same route. I still park in that same strip mall sometimes. And every single time, I check my dashcam to make sure it's recording. Not because I'm worried about someone hitting my truck. Because apparently, I need protection for my own thoughts now. Just in case I accidentally manifest something. Story 3. I got my real estate license about 5 years ago after spending a decade in corporate sales. The hours were better, the pay was decent, and I genuinely enjoyed helping people find homes. My wife had been pushing me to make the switch for years, and after our second kid was born, I finally took the plunge. Best decision I ever made. Most of my clients were normal people. First-time buyers nervous about mortgages. Growing families needing more space. Retirees downsizing. Sure, I'd dealt with picky clients before. People who wanted everything perfect. But picky I could handle. What happened last Saturday was something else entirely. I was hosting an open house for a beautiful 3-bedroom colonial in a quiet neighborhood. The owners had already moved out of state for work, so the place was empty but staged nicely. Clean, neutral colors, hardwood floors, updated kitchen. It was priced fairly, and I expected it to move fast. I'd already had 6 groups come through that morning, and 3 of them seemed seriously interested. Around 2 in the afternoon, a woman walked in alone. She was maybe 50, dressed in flowing layers of purple fabric with multiple crystal necklaces. I'd shown houses to spiritual folks before. Usually they were pleasant enough, just asked about which direction the house faced or where the sun came in. No big deal. Me, welcome. Feel free to look around. Let me know if you have any questions. She didn't respond. She just stood in the entryway with her eyes closed, holding her hands out in front of her like she was feeling for something invisible. The energy in here is polluted. Me, I'm sorry. There's been other people here. I can feel their residue. Their vibrations are everywhere. It's contaminated. Me, well, yes, this is an open house. Several people have come through today to view the property. That's unacceptable. You need to clear their energy before I can properly evaluate this space. Me, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sage. Incense. Crystal clearing. Something. I can't get an accurate read on the house's true energy with all these other people's auras mucking it up. Me, ma'am, I don't have any of those things here. But you're welcome to walk through and see if the house meets your needs. How am I supposed to know if it meets my needs when I can't feel its authentic vibration? She walked further into the house, still waving her hands around like she was swatting invisible flies. I followed at a distance, mentally preparing myself for a long afternoon. She went room to room, muttering about energy blockages and spiritual interference. When we got to the kitchen, she stopped and turned to me with a suspicious look. How many offers are there already? Me, I can't disclose that information. Her, I knew it. You're trying to create false competition. You're manipulating the energy of the sale. Me, I'm just following standard real estate practices. Her, this whole process is spiritually corrupt. No wonder I can't get a clear reading. She pulled out her phone and started taking pictures of random corners and doorways. Then she opened her large purse and started rummaging through it. I watched as she pulled out bundles of dried plants and several sticks of incense. Me, ma'am, you can't light anything in here. Her, I have to cleanse the space. It's the only way I'll know if this house is right for me. Me, this isn't my property. I can't allow you to burn anything inside. Her, it's sage and Palo Santo. It's natural. It's healing. Me, it's also smoke, and there are smoke detectors throughout the house. Her, then the house will have to accept my cleansing ritual. If it's truly meant to be mine, the universe will allow it. Before I could stop her, she lit one of the incense sticks with a lighter. The smell hit immediately, thick and pungent. She started waving it around, walking through the living room while chanting something under her breath. Me, you need to put that out right now. Her, I'm almost done. Just let me finish the corners. The smoke detector went off. The piercing beep echoed through the empty house. She looked up at the ceiling, annoyed. Her, see? The house is rejecting my energy. This is a sign. Me, the house isn't rejecting anything. That's a smoke detector doing its job. Put it out now. Her, this property has negative karma. It's fighting against my spiritual cleansing. I grabbed the fire extinguisher from the kitchen and pointed it at her incense stick. Me, put it out or I'm using this. She clutched the incense to her chest dramatically. Her, you're suppressing my religious practices. This is discrimination. Me, this is private property and I'm responsible for it. Extinguish that immediately. The smoke detector kept blaring. She finally dropped the incense stick on the hardwood floor and stepped on it. But the damage was done. The smoke was thick enough that 2 more detectors started going off in other rooms. Me, stay here. I ran to open windows throughout the house, trying to air the place out. The smoke detectors were connected to the monitoring service. My phone rang. It was the alarm company. Operator, we're showing smoke detector activation at your location. Do you need emergency services? Me, yes, actually. Send the fire department. False alarm, but I need them to reset the system. When I came back to the living room, she was lighting another incense stick. Me, what are you doing? Her, the house's rejection proves it has deep spiritual issues. It needs more intensive clearing. I'm helping it. Me, you're leaving. Right now. Her, I'm trying to heal this property. You should be thanking me. Do you know how much bad energy accumulates in a house? Especially one that's been shown to so many people. Every person who walks through leaves traces of their desires, their disappointments, their negative thoughts. It builds up. It creates blockages. It can actually prevent a house from selling. Me, this house doesn't need healing. It needs you to leave. Her, I'm performing a service here. This property is crying out for spiritual cleansing. Can't you feel it? The fire trucks arrived 8 minutes later. 2 of them. Full crew. They came in with equipment, checked the detectors, and cleared the house. The fire chief looked at the incense remnants on the floor and then at me. Chief, what happened here? Me, unauthorized spiritual cleansing. The woman jumped in before I could explain further. Her, this house has karmic issues. I was trying to help. The property is spiritually damaged. Chief, ma'am, you can't light fires inside buildings without permission. Her, it wasn't a fire. It was sacred smoke. There's a difference. Chief, smoke is smoke. You set off the detectors. Her, because the house is rejecting positive energy. That's a red flag. This property needs serious spiritual intervention before anyone buys it. One of the firefighters was trying not to laugh. The chief looked exhausted. Chief, sir, do you want to press charges? Me, I just want her removed from the property. Her. You're all blind. This house is a spiritual disaster. The karma here is toxic. I was trying to save future buyers from making a terrible mistake. The fire department escorted her out. She shouted about property karma and spiritual corruption the entire way to her car. After they left, I spent an hour airing out the house and trying to get rid of the incense smell. The hardwood floor had a small burn mark where she'd stepped on the first stick. My phone rang. It was one of the couples who'd come through that morning. We'd like to make an offer. The house sold 4 days later, above asking price. Multiple offers. The new owners never mentioned anything about the energy. Guess the karma wasn't that toxic after all. Story 4. I've been a dental hygienist for about 15 years now. I've worked in 3 different practices over the years, and I thought I'd seen every type of patient imaginable. The nervous ones who grip the armrests. The chatty ones who try to talk with a mouth full of instruments. The ones who fall asleep during cleanings. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened last Tuesday. Let me back up a bit. I work at a small dental office in the suburbs. We're not a fancy cosmetic place or anything like that. Just a regular family dentistry practice where people come for cleanings, fillings, root canals, the usual stuff. The dentist I work with has been practicing for 20 years and has a great reputation in the community. We pride ourselves on being honest and transparent with patients. This particular patient had been coming to our office for about 6 months. She'd had 2 cleanings before, and both times she'd been fine. A little demanding, maybe. She'd questioned why we needed to take x-rays, asked why the cleaning took so long, complained that the fluoride treatment tasted weird, but nothing too out of the ordinary. She came in that Tuesday for what was supposed to be a routine checkup and cleaning. I did my usual examination first, checking her gums, looking for any obvious issues. Then the dentist came in to do his examination. He looked at her teeth carefully, checked the x-rays we'd taken 6 months prior, and then told her what he'd found. "Dentist, you've got a cavity forming on your lower left molar. We're going to need to schedule you for a filling." That's when everything went sideways. "Karen, you're lying." Dentist, "Excuse me." "Karen, I brush my teeth twice a day. I floss. I use mouthwash. There's no way I have a cavity." Dentist, "Cavities can form even with good dental hygiene. It's not uncommon. The decay is still in the early stages, which is why we want to take care of it now before it gets worse." Karen, "How convenient for you. I bet you get a commission every time you drill into someone's teeth." I saw the dentist's face tighten. He's a patient man, but nobody likes being called a liar, especially about their professional judgment. Dentist, "I don't get commissions. I get paid a salary, and I'm recommending this filling because you need it, not because I want to make money off you." Karen, "Sure you do. That's what they all say. You dentists are all the same, always looking for ways to bill people for unnecessary procedures." The dentist tried to explain the cavity to her again. He pointed to the x-ray, showed her the dark spot that indicated decay. She barely looked at it. Karen, "Those x-rays are probably fake, or you're reading them wrong on purpose." Dentist, "I've been doing this for 20 years. I know how to read an x-ray." Karen, "Well, I don't believe you. I want a second opinion." Dentist, "That's your right, but I'm telling you what I see, and what I see is a cavity that needs to be filled." She sat there for a moment, and I thought maybe she was going to storm out. Instead, she surprised us both. Karen, "Fine. Do it now. But I'm watching you. If I catch you doing anything shady, I'm reporting you to the dental board." The dentist looked at me, and I could see the exhaustion in his eyes. But we'd had difficult patients before. We could handle this. He numbed her tooth and waited for the anesthetic to take effect. The whole time, she was muttering under her breath about conspiracy theories and corrupt dentists. I tried to stay professional and ignore it. When he started the procedure, she was tense in the chair. Her hands were gripping the armrests so hard her knuckles were white. I was holding the suction tube in her mouth, trying to keep the area clear so the dentist could work. Dentist, you're doing great. Just a few more minutes. Karen, I want to see what you're doing. Dentist, I need you to stay still. I'm working with a drill near your tooth. Karen, I don't trust you. I need to see. Before either of us could stop her, she reached up and grabbed the small mirror we keep on the tray. The one we use to show patients their teeth. She yanked it toward her face, trying to angle it so she could see into her own mouth while the dentist was still working. In her rush, her hand smacked right into the suction tube I was holding. The tube jerked to the side and hit her in the cheek. Hard. Karen, oh! The dentist immediately pulled back. I removed the suction tube. She dropped the mirror and grabbed her cheek. Me, are you okay? Karen, you hit me. You assaulted me. Me, you grabbed the mirror and knocked the tube into your own face. I was holding it still. Karen, that's not what happened. You attacked me because I was trying to expose your conspiracy. Dentist, nobody attacked you. You hit yourself with the suction tube when you reached for the mirror. Karen, auto injury caused by disbelief. That's what this is. You made me so distrustful with your lies that I injured myself trying to find the truth. I honestly didn't know what to say. The dentist and I just stared at her. Karen, I'm suing this practice. Both of you are going to hear from my lawyer. You created an unsafe environment that directly led to my injury. Dentist, you injured yourself by grabbing equipment during an active procedure, after I specifically told you to stay still. Karen, because I didn't believe you. If you'd been honest from the beginning, I wouldn't have needed to check your work. She ripped off the dental bib and stood up from the chair. Her tooth was still only half filled. The dentist tried to explain that she needed to let him finish the procedure, but she wasn't hearing it. Karen, I'm not letting you near my mouth again. You'll probably finish the job of assaulting me. She stormed out of the office, threatening legal action the whole way. The receptionist tried to stop her to schedule a follow-up appointment, but she just pushed past and left. The dentist and I stood there in the treatment room, looking at each other in disbelief. Me, did that really just happen? Dentist, I think it did. We filed an incident report documenting everything that happened. Our office manager reviewed the security camera footage, which clearly showed her grabbing the mirror and hitting herself with a suction tube. We never heard from any lawyer. She never came back to finish the filling. I heard from the receptionist last week that she left us a 1-star review online claiming we'd assaulted her and lied about her dental health. The dentist responded professionally, stating that she'd injured herself during the procedure and declined treatment. Sometimes I wonder if that half-filled tooth is bothering her yet. Something tells me when it starts to hurt, she'll blame us for that too.